Hey everybody, it is Monday the 21st of March and welcome back after break. So we have a couple of do now questions, and the first one's going to start with, do you prefer sweet or salty? What's the highlight of your spring break? And what was the total number of protons, neutrons, and electrons in cadmium that has a mass number of 112? Well, sweet or salty is always your choice. I always think about what would be the first thing you would grab when you walk into the Wag-A-Bag or something, or the 7-Eleven. My highlight was seeing my nieces. And what is the total number of protons, neutrons, and electrons? Well, when we look on our periodic table, cadmium has 48 is its atomic mass number. So that's the same as the protons and electrons. And then I take the 112 mass, I subtract 48, and I come up with 64, and that's my number of neutrons. There we go. All right. So today we're going to learn about the periodic table, how it's organized into groups and periods. I will identify elements with similar properties, and I can differentiate between groups and periods. I can determine properties. I can classify metals. And here's our review. What are valence electrons? Remember that if they're highly reactive, they're 1 or 7. Reactivity is 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Or 8 is not reactive at all. Right here's a great little video. I'd like you to watch that because you're going to need that to answer the very last question in your notebook today. And we're going to go right into our digital notebook. Periodic groups are grouped here in groups. That's the up down. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go to slide 14. I'm going to show you my slide 14. So the groups are up and down, and this is where you're going to drag and drop things so you can follow along here. Periods are left, right. Remember, groups share the same number of valence electrons. So that, remember we said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the last one is 8. And periods, the number on the side of your chart tells us the number of electron shells. So we're talking about our periodic table understanding. What number, or what makes the atomic number? It tells us the number of protons, and I'm going to change this, and electrons an element contains, and defines the element. What is the mass? It's the combined number of protons. I'm going to add to this one, electrons and neutrons. What does the valence electron tell us? It tells us how reactive things are. What does the group tell you? It tells us the reactivity, and period tells us the number of electron shells it has. Here's our periodic table where we classified metals and nonmetals. If you look here at the top, there is a color, and we just matched blue with metals, green with metalloids because it's here. And you can actually mark your table like this. Yours is white, and you can color it in. And the chart here on slide 18, if you want to drag and drop, just some characteristics. Metals are good conductors. They're malleable and ductile, which means we can either pound them flat or make them into a wire. They are shiny, and they tend to lose electrons. Now, nonmetals are poor conductor because they're the opposite. They are brittle. They have very little luster. They're not shiny, and they tend to gain electrons. And our non-metalloids, which are that kind of combination, are semiconductors, which means sometimes they can, and then they're variable. So this is what we did, and this is the end of the notebook. I just want to make a point here is if you're stuck on your notebook, you can go back, and I'm going to come here, and you can go into the recordings where myself or Miss Strew have actually done the recording. If you're like, I don't need to do that, I just want to look at the slideshows, then right here are I'm publishing today's Do Now for a set of friends. On Tuesday, and the slides, they're always published for you, so you can actually go back in here and fill in your notebook. All right, tomorrow we're going to do a little review on the periodic table and some study guide sheets. I will see you all on Tuesday. Have a great day. Welcome back.